everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here today. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take a mock-up in Kittl and turn it into a video. This is a brand new feature from Kittl, and I've worked with them before, but they approached me about this and I thought this is such a cool thing that you guys would love to learn how to do. It's honestly just a few steps, and once you play around with it, it is pretty easy, so don't be discouraged if at first you're just a little bit confused. I was too, but once I started playing with it and realizing there was lots of ways to do it, it's actually a lot easier than you think. I will link Kittl down below if you want to check it out, and don't forget to use coupon code Corinne. That's going to save you 25% off. I'm going to show you how to do this with one way of making a design from all of their amazing design elements that they have. They've got templates and so many other things and so many different features that you can change up the design in so many different ways to make it your own. And then I'm also going to show you that this works with designs from outside of Kittl as well, because I know that we use designs from everywhere. So it's really helpful to know that you can do this with other designs as well. You may be thinking, why would I need a video mock-up? What would I use it for? Well, on Etsy, they claim that if you have a video in your listing is pushed further out to people. So whether you're selling a physical product or a digital product, it can help people see your design on a piece of clothing or a tote bag or a hat or something in motion so they can get a better idea of what it looks like. Having that video element can really bring that visual interest to your listing. Or maybe you just want to play with it and put it up on Instagram. Maybe you want to show it off on TikTok. There's so many different reasons that you might want to make a video mock-up, and I promise you this is so easy. So let's jump into it. I can't wait to see you start it out. And like I said, I'm going to link this down below, and thank you so much to Kittl for sponsoring this. We're going to make a really fun mock-up with a video here in Kittl, and this is their brand new design feature, and it's so good. What we'll do, we're going to just start with a new project, which we're just going to click right here for new project. Now there are templates and things that you can use, but I think for what we do as far as crafters and using it for things like Instagram or TikTok, or maybe you want to use it on Etsy, this is a great way to do that. So you have a bunch of different design like sizes that you can choose here. You've got like the popular ones. You can go to social media, there's marketing, business, all those. So we're going to go with social media because I want to use a like Instagram reel to create this. So I can use the Instagram story option right here and choose that. And then I simply just click create. Now it's going to give me this artboard piece here that we can design on. Now what's fun is that we can use any designs that we want to. We can add elements to it, text. You can use one of their pre-made designs. So this here is just kind of like an Instagram story collage. This is probably not what you're going to necessarily want to use to create your design for your t-shirt, your tote bag, whatever you want to use. So over here, you've got options, and if you hover over them, it'll tell you what they are. So you have illustrations, mock-ups, images, textures, anything that you've liked. You've got brand kits, uploads, AR art gallery, and chat. Now, illustrations is a great place to look because you've got all sorts of things that you can use. If you want to create something from scratch, this is an absolutely great place to start. There is so much to choose from. Frames, line forms, shapes, designs, all sorts of stuff that you want to use is available. You got illustrations, ornaments, you've got like little abstract designs. Anything here is a great option to use. And then we'll talk about this section in a little while. And then we also have like photos and things that you can use. But one thing that I have done before that I kind of like to do, I'm going to go back to the beginning here, is I like to look at kind of what they have as far as like their designs. And I kind of like to redo them a little bit so that they're more what I want them to be. So if you want to check those out, you should see here where it's got like templates curated for you, but you can also look here under templates as well. And there's, you know, some different options: merchandise, marketing, social, stationery, branding, creative flows. I'm going to go to merchandise because I feel like that one has a little more of like what I would use for a t-shirt design. So I like this one, autumn vibes, and cozy nights is cute, but we're kind of just going to scroll through and see if we find something that really like speaks to us and something that we want to change the design of so that it more so fits what we want to do. And you can see there are thousands of designs to choose from. So let me scroll through and find one that I like. This one's really cute and I kind of have an idea for it. So let's click use template. Now, I showed you how to kind of create that custom sized artboard. This will have an artboard already for you, but don't worry because we'll resize everything to fit the way we need it to. So if it's not quite the right size, we can definitely kind of adjust. So in this design, I can change this up really in any way that I want to, get rid of things that I don't like, change up wording. Maybe I don't love the little stars. I can just simply delete them by hitting delete. Those aren't really the vibe. So what I want this to say is in a world. So I'm going to just change this and let's capitalize that I. So it's in a world. And then I'm going to change this to of Daphne's. And remember, there's no apostrophe because this is not a possessive Daphne. Daphne doesn't own the world. We are not owning Daphne. So Daphne does not have a apostrophe. I want to change this bottom section to say B and LOEs. So I don't love the way that the words are kind of laid out and I don't love this little line. So again, I can just simply delete that. And then what I can do is just take one of these words, delete them, and I can change the wording here to, let's change this to B and LOEs. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Is that right? LOEs. Nope. E's. There we go. Sometimes LOEs throws me for a loop. So I can make this bigger. That way it sort of stands out against this, pink background. But the frame, the little like mirror is a little big. So I'm going to just size this down a little bit. I'm going to kind of push this a little behind the word Daphne. And then I'm going to add a little offset, I think, to this. Just so that it's going to pop a little bit more against the mirror because you can see this one has a little offset to it. So there's a few like things that you can do. You really want to play around in this a lot and learn how to use all like the design features. But you can see here that I have a border weight that I could use. That's an option. That's not quite what I want to do. I'm going to go down here to like text shadow. And this is a little bit more what I want. And I want this like detailed 3D shadow, which I think could be fun. And then I can change the colors here. And what I love is that it has these preset colors to it so that you can really match it to your design. Now, I don't know if that's quite the look I'm going for. So let's change that one up a little bit. And we'll just sort of play with these and see which one. I think this one's a little bit more what I want. I'm going to offset it a little bit more. And then I'm going to change the angle maybe and see if that might be kind of more so. That's a little more so what I want. I'm going to angle it a little less. And then I'm going to change the color. And I'm just going to make that color. Honestly, I'm going to put this on white. So maybe we do a white color. Because it's going to make it pop from the mirror. So like same with this one. Like maybe I want to change this to white. Just so that it matches the design, like the shirt a little bit more. Now that is just kind of something you can play with and figure out if that's, what you want to do. It's up to you. You can make these however you want them to look. It's truly up to you. There's no right or wrong way to do it. So don't feel like if it's not exactly, the way I'm making it, that doesn't make it wrong. It just makes it the way you want it to be. So I'm just going to fix that angle. Now what I can do is I can actually get rid of like this background color if I want to. And there are a lot of like things that you can do to kind of zhuzh your design, so to speak. So again, you can sit here, you can change colors. Maybe you want it more blues. Maybe that's like kind of the vibe. Maybe you want blue writing. What's really fun about this is if you just click, like kind of scroll on top of them, it'll make them more so the color palette that it is. So it kind of just gives you a way to play around with it and think, okay, well, maybe this is more like the color palette I want, or maybe this. But again, we're going to ignore the background because that's going to be the color of the shirt or the tote or whatever it may be. So if you want to put it on a white one or a blue one or whatever it may be, but this is a great way to kind of visualize. And you can see you have all sorts of different color palette. Like this one's really, really pretty. But like I said, put it on whatever you want it to be. I kind of like that one at the bottom, honestly, or I liked this one a lot too, or even like this one's pretty. Let's go with this purple clouds. I think that's pretty. And what I like about it is I don't have to like overly think about what color I'm going to choose for this. And I think I am going to just angle this or like add this one. I'm going to see what the offset is on that. So that's a 50%. That's a 90%. Let's change this one to 50 just so it like matches. All right, that's good. Okay, so now that I've kind of got this the way I want it, and again, do whatever you want. It's truly up to you. What you want to do is you can select your entire artboard. And by doing that, you're going to have the whole item selected. And what I want to do is I'm going to add a mock-up. So click Add Mockup over here in the tools, or you can add it over here at the top. Either one will work. But if you click that, what it'll do is it's going to bring up like a t-shirt design. But because we're going to be making a video with this, I want to use one of these like images over here. So you've got all sorts of things that you can use. There's like house blend and bare frequency, and there's all sorts of different designs. So if I look at like Be My Valentine, because that kind of has a similar like vibe to what I want to do, I see that I have a couple different options here for like a tote bag or a mug, whatever that may be, whatever you want to put it on. You've also got things like athletic wear. You've got one that's called College League. You can put them on like cups and cans, and this one's got some different like designs as well. And this one actually is one of my favorites. This one here I think is so fun, but it doesn't really go with the vibe. So let's scroll through and just see, like the country club could maybe work. You just sort of go through and find something that really matches the vibe of your product. Like there's some kid ones that I just don't think are going to work. We've got Countdown. This one could maybe work. This one's called Turkey Time. It's a little more fall, but I think like the vibes could maybe work. I don't know if the background's quite what we need, so I'm going to scroll through and find one that I think is going to work really well for what we're making. This one's actually pretty good because if you noticed, Eloise had this kind of haircut, very short bob at one point in the show. So I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger. Now what you want to do is try to get this onto the shirt where you would normally have that print. And I think that looks pretty good. And one thing I love about the Kittl Mockups is you can kind of see how it bends and folds with the shirt's bends and folds. Now, what I need to do, because this is not the correct size for what we want to make. So I need to select this entire artboard, and the artboard is all the parts of your design. I wanted to zoom out a little bit just so you could see that there's an arrow that goes from the original design over into our mockup, and that's basically Kittl telling the design that it's going to put this design onto this artboard. Now I'll zoom in a little bit, and we need to do what's called flatten. So just like in CRICUT Design Space where we're telling it it's all one piece, we need to tell Kittl that this is all one piece. So I'm going to use this flatten option, and this does take a couple seconds to process. Now once it's finished flattening, you'll see you have two of the same design, but this is where we're going to reframe the design so that it fits within the size that we want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and select this artboard. What I want to do is go into where it says 5 more, which is just giving you more options. And I'm going to click reframe. Now it's going to give me options for custom sizing. I've got the 16:9, which would be perfect for like YouTube. 9:16, which is great for your shorts, your reels, your TikToks, all that stuff. But then you have some other sizing as well. Now, like I said, we're going to use this for like a little reel, but you can also use this for your Etsy shop because they do claim that Etsy shops that have a little video do better than others. I don't know if that's true, but what I'm going to do is select this design, and what I'm going to do is choose reframe. Now you'll see that you have the transparent background showing. That's fine. It's going to reframe this. Now this does take a moment or two as well, but you'll have a little box here that'll show you kind of how quickly it's going. So once this is done, I'll show you our next steps. Once it's done reframing, you'll see that it fills the whole frame, and it gave her some pants. It gave like a little, I don't know, strange thing at the top, but it'll fill it out, and AI will do that for you. Once I have this fully reframed, I want to add an artboard for this to sit on. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose Add Artboard. Over on the side, I can choose my sizing. Again, it offers you like the general stuff. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will have other options like Instagram Story, Instagram Reel, all of that. Now I want to take this design and place it on to this artboard. So you can kind of drag it and drop it over here, and then you can size it down. So like if I wanted to, for some reason, cut off the top a little bit more and just leave like her legs, I could do that. Or you could have it fill the whole thing, whatever you want it to do. Now I'm going to select the artboard and I'm going to add a video artboard. Now here is where we're going to tell it what we want it to do. So I want it to have the model move in a natural way. We can, let's see, we can have her swing her hips gently. Keep the design on the shirt the same. Do not change it. Oops. Change it in any way and make the move natural. Have her expression be a soft, gentle smile. And sometimes you may need to like kind of reword stuff, but we're going to try this one and just sort of see what it does. Now there's a couple options. Again, we can kind of change the sizing here. You can also change the length from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. And then they have a couple of different options for like how to use the video and like which video generation it's using. You've got like fast, you've got high fidelity video generation, all the things. But I'm going to try the VO 3.1 and I'm going to click generate. Now this can take a couple of minutes. Usually it doesn't take me more than like 2 minutes. So when this is doing this, I'll let it generate. I'll go do something else, maybe work on a design or whatever that may be, but we'll come back once this is generated. Once the video has generated, just simply press this little play button to see what your video does. And you can see she moves supernaturally. The shirt doesn't change. It's a really easy kind of video. Now, again, could I have her do something else? Sure. But I think this for like an Etsy video, just to show off the shirt a little bit or the design a little bit, because what's great about this is you could use this for Etsy. You could use this to promote your design over on TikTok or Instagram or whatever it may be. So there are a lot of ways to do this. And once you're happy with your video, now, like I said, you can change up the prompt and things and try other things just to see how it works. And all you have to do for this, it's really easy, is you can either use this quick export option here, or you can use over here where you can export up there. Now with this one, you just can choose your AI video. You want to only download this as an MP4, and then you can choose which artboards you want. So maybe you want to keep the original mock-up design and you want to keep this design just so you can use those in your listing. You can absolutely do that. And I'm going to go ahead and then just simply click download. Now with the download option, it's going to download those into a folder that's going to be zipped. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. We'll open up that zipped folder and then we'll just click extract all, click extract. And then from here, you can see all of your different items. So now let's say we just wanted the video. I'll show you how to do that too, because it's so easy. You just simply click this quick export. You're going to go export that and it'll take it a second. It's going to download it into your folder, whatever you want to put it at. And then you can open it and give it 1 second. And now you'll have your video saved that way as well. So it is so easy to do this. And it is super duper simple. So you can see here, it's right there. Voila. Simple as that. Now, why would we need to do this? Well, because you don't always have the ability to make every single design into a product and then take a video of it. And sometimes this is just a much quicker and easier way to do that. Now, let's say, okay, I've designed this. I'm happy with it. I want to keep the design and I want to use that artboard that's over here, which, hold on, I gotta zoom out a bunch. We want to keep this design. And oops, that was a little too close, wasn't it? So now let's say, okay, we're ready. We want to sell this design. We want to sell the digital version of this design. How can I do that? So simple. What I want you to do, you're going to go to the export option up here. And what I do is, instead of choosing all artboards, I'm just going to choose this one right here, the first one. Then what I want to do is make sure to choose remove background from that. And you can change your pixels here, but you shouldn't need to. And I'm just going to click download. Again, it's going to download it and I'm going to save it. Now, when I open it, it won't have that background on it. Now, I do obviously need to fix this because this is not quite right. The In a World, I want it to look more like the Of Daphne, but that's okay. It's still good. Like, you still get the idea. We just needed to make a few changes to it. But what's great about this product is we can use this in so many different ways, whether it's just to show off a design we made or to add that little video to Etsy without having to go out and spend a fortune. Maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you just need a quick little video to show off your design. Now, there are so many mock-ups and so many ways to do this, and you can really use any designs that you want. You could even import your own design into this and use that as well. So let's show you how to do that really quick because it is super easy. So if I go here and I just add an artboard, it doesn't matter. Let me just grab a random design of mine. I'm going to use the In My Silly Goose Era, and for this one you can use the PNG or the SVG. It truly doesn't matter. But I'm just going to add that so that you can see how we can use a design of our own making that we maybe bring in from somewhere else. So here we can just kind of make this bigger. I like to make them pretty big, and I'm doing this all on that same like project, but you could start a new project if you want. Now what I want to do is, again, select the artboard, and I want to add a mock-up, and let's use one of these beach ones. Let's do this girl. She's got a nice t-shirt on, so we'll choose her. And I'm going to zoom in so I can kind of size that, which it actually did a pretty good job of sizing it the way I want it. Maybe make it a little bigger just so it stands out for this video. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to zoom out. Now, let's say we're going to use this for Etsy. This is a fine size for Etsy, so you don't need to do anything too crazy with this. What we can do is we're going to select this, and we're going to add a video board. And now you'll notice that we do have an option to connect a end frame to this. So if we had like another image of her, we could totally do that. But what we can also do is we can just duplicate this, and I can use that as my end frame as well. And I can just connect that to the video. Now, when I go over here, you'll see that we have the first frame, the end frame. So for this, let's see, have the model, do a half turn to the left, making sure not to alter the design on the shirt in any way. Have her with a bright smile and make her remove the sunglasses halfway through. Now, I don't know how well that's going to work. We don't have hands in this video. Sometimes AI is a little weird with hands, but you just try some different things and see what works. So I think that's pretty good description. So I'm going to click generate. Now, again, this will take a few minutes to generate. And once it does, I'll show you what it looks like. Now, it generated our video, but I didn't resize it, which I should have done. That's okay. But let's go ahead and see what it does with our design here and our choice. Look at that. It's perfect. Like, she does exactly what we told her to do. She turns. She doesn't move that like design on the shirt at all, takes off the sunglasses, has that bright smile. So there are lots of ways to do this. Now, if you run into the issue here where like it's not the right size, let me see if we can fix that. So what we can do is select the entire item. Now, I do believe with this one, we are going to have to flatten it. So let's go ahead and flatten and just see what happens with that. Sometimes you just have to play with stuff and see how you can make it work. Now, it looks like I should maybe be able to reframe, but maybe not. So, okay, let's say that didn't work. No big deal. What I want you to do, you're going to go ahead and delete both of your artboards here that are the AI video. And I'm going to go ahead and add a video artboard. And let's see if we can change the sizing over here as we should be able to. And it looks like we should be able to. So I never remember, but let's just try like changing it. It looks like it's always going to be that size. So again, what you'll need to do is to go down here and we can change it now to the 9x16. But eventually they will probably add more artboard sizes for videos. So for now, you just need to make sure that you do what we did on the last one and resize them. But otherwise, it should be all pretty simple. So let's say we need to do that. Let's go ahead and let's redesign this art frame over here. Now, one thing that you'll always have to do is constantly click and zoom in, and it's kind of frustrating, but you can definitely do it this way. So let's grab this guy And let's flatten it so that it can become the right size, and we'll resize it just to see what happens. Now, once your design has been flattened, remember we need to resize that. So go to the under 5 more, reframe it, choose the size that you want. You know what? Let's do the 16 by 9 just to give it a little something different. Maybe we'll use this one on a YouTube video. So again, I'm going to reframe this, and this can take a few moments. Now, once this is reframed, you can see here we have the perfect size for a YouTube video. And all it did was just expand the beach a little bit more. Now what I can do is I can duplicate this. So I just click duplicate, and you'll see now that I have the 2 boards here that I can use. Now, one thing that you want to note is you definitely want to have artboards behind these. If you don't, it's not going to work the way that you want it to. You can see I have generate video options there, but I want to make sure that I'm able to take these and have like an end frame so that you can see how to use that. Now, a lot of this is going to sound very confusing, but when you start playing with it, it will make more sense. So what I want to do is I'm going to add that artboard. And remember, this is going to be a YouTube size. So it's the 16 by 19. So what you can do is scroll over here, and you can find here for YouTube thumbnail. And then you're just going to put one artboard here, and you're going to drag this over on to that artboard. I'm going to add another artboard because I need to put the end frame onto an artboard. And again, I'm going to use that size. I'm going to find the YouTube thumbnail one, which is right here. And then I'm going to drag and drop this one onto that artboard. But you see that this one's like much smaller. I don't know why it does that, but it does. And sometimes you just need to adjust, and that's okay. Not a big deal. Just adjust it. Once it's adjusted, then I can go ahead and I can add that additional artboard. I want to add the video artboard. So you want to make sure you select both of these, and you're going to add the artboard. Now, again, you'll see you have the first and the end. Now, again, we can describe the action we want her to do. Have the, oops, well, it helps if you type all the words. Have the model turn and remove her sunglasses. Do not change the image on the shirt in any way. Have her with a bright smile, expression, and add a little breeze to ruffle her hair and the palm tree. So let's see what it does with that. Now, again, play around with your prompts, play around with like how you want them to work and what you want them to do, because you can do a lot with these, and it's just kind of a matter of learning like what to tell it to do and how to tell it to do that. You're going to find that the more you play with this, the more you play around with the artboards, play around with the prompts, the better your videos are going to turn out. So let's go ahead and let this one generate. Now, once it's done generating, again, let's see how it did. I'm going to go ahead and just click play, and look at that. She turns, she smiles, she takes off the sunglasses, and the design on the shirt stays the same, which is what we want it to do. We want it to have some movement just to show it off, but we also want some interest in the video. Now, again, you can download these and use them in lots of different ways. If you have questions about how to work with the Kittl product here, their new video creation, and what's great about theirs is, unlike others, is that you can do it all within the same artboard or the same canvas. So this here is a way that I can make all sorts of different things to work with each other. And like I can move stuff over, I can really just make this however I want it to be. And you can see I've got the one design here, but then I still have my other design over here. And look at that. So now you can really work with this. And what's great is you're not having to go to different places to create these videos. Now, you do always want to disclose if you're using a video that is what they call AI. You do want to disclose that in your listing. You want to disclose that in your video. Most of the apps do have a slide bar where you need to disclose if AI has been used in that creation of your video. Now, again, any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to check out Kittl. And then I also have a coupon code, which is just Corinne, and that's going to save you when you sign up for Kittl. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.